Sexual dreams are not just dreams, they are real spiritual encounters, strategic attacks from hell designed to bind your soul to demonic altars. In this reaction video, we're diving into a fiery teaching by Apostle Isi Igenegba on how these invisible battles are fought and how you can win. Let's get into it.
Some people are dedicated to certain priesthood, and the deity behind that priesthood usually comes to collect, and the way it pulls the person back to that altar is by having sex with their spirit.
This is deep. What you do not renounce spiritually can legally claim you. The enemy leverages ancient covenants through sexual encounters in dreams to keep destinies bound. 1 Corinthians 6:16 reminds us, he that is joined to a harlot is one body. That applies spiritually too, people of God. If you're tired of the attacks, if you're ready to take your destiny by force, sit tight, because this message, it's not motivational, it's warfare.
And I used to think it was maybe like only people in Africa that, used to get like demonic dreams with sexual assaults in the dream. But recently I've gotten people from all over the world. I used to think just women actually used to have those dreams, but men and women and everyone is messaging me about how, they go to bed and, someone, there are all kinds of names, incubus and succubus for the demons and all those things. And I say to people, you have to understand that the way sex works, sex in itself establishes covenants, and so many times when a person is pulling themselves away from a demonic covenant in the physical, and you're breaking away from something, that you realize is powered by the demonic, Satan gets scared. And one of the ways in which he can pull you back into a cycle that you want to break is through sex. And many times it happens in the spirit realm. Like people say to me, oh boy, it doesn't really matter. It didn't really happen physically. I'm like, oh yeah, it didn't really matter that it was in a dream that Solomon asked for wisdom and God gave him in a dream, but he woke up physically with wisdom.
Wow.
And so many people think that the dream world is an intangible world, but it's not true. Your body goes to sleep, but your spirit and your soul comes alive. As a matter of fact, they are freer when you are asleep because they are not weighed down by your fears and your lack of whatever in the physical. But I always say to people that the way you go to bed matters. You see Instagram videos, people have their nighttime routine, they wash their faces, they brush their hair, and it's a whole vibe. But do you really have a nighttime routine? Do you really have a way you prepare to go to bed? Because we forget that. I can't remember the statistics. If you live till maybe 80 or 90 years, you would have slept for like 40 years of your life, something like that. Yep. And I say, for a God as intelligent as our God, do you really believe that he would say that 40 years should be a waste? There must be something that he's locked into that part of humanity that plays a huge role in humanity. Now you realize that when God was going to create Eve, he put man into a deep sleep. And so even though Adam woke up and God had done a perfect job, sealed it up, nothing was showing, Adam didn't know anything. But as soon as he saw Eve, he was like, yeah, you took my rib, you took my bone, I know you are the one that has my flesh. How did he know? He was in a deep sleep. So sometimes the things that happen while we are asleep registers in us when we wake up. When God was going to build the covenant with Abraham, the Bible says that after Abraham brought all the things he brought, God put him into a sleep. And it was in a sleep that Abraham saw the burning furnace and the torch, and he saw God walking through the sacrifice. Now, all of that experience, that is the covenant of Abraham that we carry till today, all of that happened in a sleep and in a dream. In Job 33, the Bible says God may speak one way or the other, but man does not hear. But in a dream and in a vision of the night, he visits them and he seals their ears with instruction to turn them away from evil. That means the ninth time is the time of sealing. The ninth time is the time when instructions are delivered from the divine. The ninth time is the time of programming and reprogramming. So when you wake up with a decision that you did not even go to bed with, because that's what happens in the dead of the night. Now, there are some arrows that don't fly by day, they only fly at night. There are some attacks that are darkness configured to operate effectively only in the dead of the night. And so there are many things like that that happen around dreams and visions, and many people think, oh, it's inconsequential, but it's not true. Now, that being said, I found out that many times the reason why people get that particular attack is, number one, there may be an altar that has not been dealt with yet in the spirit realm, something that probably opened up in the family line, because some people are dedicated to certain priesthood, and the deity behind that priesthood usually comes to collect, and the way it pulls the person back to that altar is by having sex with their spirit, and it's pulling the person back to that demonic covenant, because sex is a binder. It says, and Adam knew his wife. The only way to truly know a person deeply is on the level of sexual intercourse, and that's the reason why people have soul fragmentation, because they are joined in knowledge to too many people, so they don't even know who they are anymore. They have kind of like broken personality. So the demons come to do that. And another reason why that could happen, it could even just be a gate that the person personally opened. It could be in the form of what you are engaging with. It could be something you are watching in the evening or in the daytime. Some people are still addicted to pornography. Some people use all kinds of devices and stuff like that. Those things are doorways that literally open you up to demonic engagements. Sometimes some people even go to bed with all kinds of things in their spirit. They are angry, they are vengeful, and all of that. And you go to bed as an unprotected soul. And the moment you go to sleep, all kinds of things are happening. And I said to people, I said, sometimes when you go to sleep, you see yourself in one scene, and the next thing you're like, oh, and the next thing I appeared in this country, and the next thing I appeared in that country. It's because that's how you actually move in the spirit realm. We're not bound by time or space. So when you're sleeping, you are really engaging on the true realm of your spirit as a son of Elohim. But I say to people, the power you possess in your consciousness determines the power you wield when you are asleep. So a prayerless Christian will most likely be a Christian in captivity in the dream world. If you haven't learned and practiced dominion and authority in prayer when you are awake, when you go to sleep, you cannot exercise dominion and authority. So you train your spirit to respond right in your dreams by what you do while you are awake. So many times when people go to sleep and the spirits come, they are not able to. I hear things like, I can't fight it away, I can't push it away, I just fall victim. I wake up in the morning and then I feel sick, I feel sad, and they just deal with the consequences through the day. So if there's anyone that is dealing with something like that, I would say there are multiple levels of deliverance. There is a level of actually praying and saying, God, show me, what has been opened that has led me into this captivity. Another level of deliverance is for you to actually go back and study what it looks like to break out of such stronghold. Another level of deliverance is to basically like cleanse your atmosphere. You need to throw out certain things because they are open doors, that invite the demonic and give them access. So while you're throwing out items, you need to determine what you watch. But even things like, there are Christians used to do things like yoga, and they're like, oh, it's just a pose. It's not. The body of man is literally a temple, and so everything a temple does attracts a deity. So you can't use patterns given to demonic gods by demonic gods and think that those patterns will be neutral to you because you're a Christian. It's not possible. So you need to kick out and throw out anything that exposes you. And then the fourth thing is keep your spirit fervent while you are awake. Pray, read, study, practice responding in faith, and then when you go to bed, that's exactly how your spirit will respond.
Beloved, you've watched it, you've heard her. Now it's time for your own awakening. Let me ask you, what's your night routine? Is it just Netflix and noodles, or have you built a nocturnal altar of fire? Are your dreams under demonic siege? Do you wake up drained, anxious, heavy, and ashamed, but can't explain why? Isaiah 27:1 says, in that day the Lord with his sore and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan the piercing. That spiritual serpent of the night must be judged, and you, child of God, must rise in nighttime dominion. Leave a comment if you've ever battled strange sex dreams or demonic night visitations. Like this video if this message lit something up in you. Share it with someone you know is battling in their sleep. Subscribe for more anointed breakdowns like this. Until we see in our next video, I remain Grace Daily Motivational, where the supernatural has become the normal. May your midnight hour be filled with fire. May your dreams be sealed with divine encounters. And may your bed become an altar of glory